the city or county is going to determine what you can implement, what their regulations, their rules are. So do you know what those regulations are and how to be within them to be successful with building your ADU?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
That's a really, really important part of this. Once you've kind of decided where you're going to go, a lot of people get, oh, I've got all these big ideas of what I want to do and put back there. And they get frustrated when they start figuring out their ideas might have to shrink some because their ideas are going to be limited by what the city or county has established as far as the guidance. And they get frustrated with that. But I'd like to share with you, you really shouldn't, because the city has put those guidelines in there to kind of protect you and all of the neighbors in the neighborhood and in the city so that they keep a constant value
Yeah.
as to what's going on in that property. You'd be pretty frustrated if you had your neighbor build this big, huge 3-story building in the back of the yard.
Yeah.
It'd just really frustrate you,
Yeah.
and yet they're saying, hey, it's my right to do that. Well, the city tries to regulate that by saying, no, to keep all the neighbors happy and to make the neighborhood work well and to keep the value of the properties the same, we're going to kind of set a few restrictions. Those restrictions are in what they'll call their city ordinance. Now, there's a couple of things you need to understand. You're living in a home that is in an area that is zoned as a single family residence property.
Yeah.
And essentially that's where the city says, okay, all the homes in this neighborhood is one family on this lot. Okay. Well, when you go to put an ADU on, you no longer have one family.
Nope.
You're now creating something different. So you can't legally do that unless the city sets up another ordinance that says, unless you follow these rules,
Gotcha.
then you can do that. And that's what they call their ADU ordinances or accessory dwelling. And that basically will set how big it can be, where it can sit on your property, how high it can be, and what's, it defines a lot of that. So that tries to keep uniformity because the city still wants this to feel like a single family residence zoned neighborhood. That affects everybody in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they want to keep that look, that feel, and that value in that property.
That's what people moved to this area for.
And yet they want to give you the flexibility of a homeowner of being able to put in a second property that allows someone to live there, but not impact the rest of the neighborhood.
Right.
Some of the key things they're going to talk about are parking. Would you be frustrated if all at once everybody was parking up and down your street?
Yes.
So the city will say, you can't do it unless you have designated parking in places so that it's not impacting the rest of the neighborhood. That's really what you're trying to do. And so as you start to create your plan, you got to go figure out what will the city actually allow me to put in and how would I then implement that?
Okay.
Now, I got a tool on ADU Utah that really can help you with that. If you'll go on ADU Utah, because you're going, how do I find out what those ordinances are? If you go on there, we actually have a city ordinance table that lists every city up and down the Wasatch Front with a link, if they've got an ADU code, that you can get right to that. Plus, it has the phone number for the planning department and the main phone number so that you can call and do them. So we've really made your research path much simpler.
That's perfect, because my very next question was going to be like, how do I find that? Like, what am I supposed to? Because I wouldn't know where to start.
Go on our website and do that. That's why ADU Utah as a website exists, to help you get tools to find the answers. But more importantly, to help you get to the resources of experts who can help you understand what those are.
Yes.
Because you may read those ordinances, but not really understand them.
That's what I was worried about too. So, okay. And how can someone get in contact with you guys?
It's really easy. Just send us an email, and that email is hello@aduutah.com. So, hello, I got a question. So, hello@aduutah.com, and we'll follow right up with you.